What's up YouTube? For today's video, we have a full Meteor Falls theme. This one is for Patreon. If you like your theme done, you can check it out in the description of the video under the Patreon link. Arc Umbra, this one is for you. Basically, this theme was revolving around Pokemon that have been caught in Meteor Falls with a variety of different ways. Now, what is your favorite Pokemon city, people? Is it an amazing city? Let me know in the comment section of the video. Mine's Pallet Town because there's so much to do there. Anyway, if you haven't followed me on Twitch, people, make sure you do that. Link is in the description. We are going to be doing a battle stream this Saturday, so you want to be following, you want to be in the pimp loop. Anyway, so we got a battle on my Discord. This one was against Cove, and we have a Marowak versus Barboach lead. So we got the Marowak, it's going to get hit by the Waterfall here. Now, this is a max attack, max speed Barboach. We got Flail, Waterfall, Earthquake, and Dragon Dance. We got the ability as Oblivious and Focus Sash as the item. So that's going to take me all the way down to my Focus Sash. Now, I could have gone for the Dragon Dance there. I was just a little bit worried if it had Bonerang, it'll hit me twice and take me up. So going for another Waterfall there instead of going for the Flail. I thought I could go for the Waterfall Flinch and then take it out with the Flail, and that was not the case. I'm going to go down to the Toxic. Now, the reason why I'm guessing they went for the Toxic, I do have a couple of levitating Pokemon. So that's my Barboach down. Doesn't that shiny look really, really cool? Instead of like Whiscash, it's like really, really boring one that doesn't change much. Okay, so we're going to go into the Lunatone here. Now, this Lunatone set was as follows. Oh, that's Solrock. I was looking at the wrong one. So we got Rock Polish, Zen Headbutt, Rock Slide, and we got the Explosion as the big ending move. If there's, if I get walled by Pokemon, if I really can't do any damage to it with my stab, I just go for the boom. We got the ability as Levitate, and we got the item as Weakness Pulsing. So going for the Rock Polish against the Jellicent. Now, Jellicent is going to go for the Hex, which is going to be super effective on Lunatone. So that's really, really good. That's going to activate my Weakness Pulsing. We got Max Attack, and we got Max Speed. So normally, it's more of a special attacker, so I went for a physical set. So now, going for the Rock Slide on the Jellicent. Like, okay, if it's a bulky set, it probably won't take it out. It only does just a bit over half health, but I get a flinch on the Freddy, so I can go for the Rock Slide again, and it's going to connect, and that's going to be the Jellicent down. So it's good at bearing a really bulky Pokemon. So I had no doubt that probably has like Recover or something like that. So that one's going to go down. Now I've got my +2 at attack. I can go for a Zen Headbutt as well. Now we've got the Magiana coming in. So I was completely and utterly wild. So it's like, alright, I'm just going to go for Explosion, do as much damage as possible, and then bring something in to try and take it out. So Explosion does, okay damage, and that is my Lunatone down. I mean, I could have gone for a Flinch or Rock Slide, but I thought, Explosion would be fine, and then I could swap a fresh Pokemon. So it's going to get a Scum Heart there, boosting a special attack. I have got to take this Pokemon out right now. So I thought the best swap in here would be my Golbat, because I do have Heat Wave on this, which could hit it, reasonably hard. So Magiana's going to actually swap out there, and now we got a swap in with the Electros. So unfortunately for me, Heat Wave misses. Not that it would have done a lot of damage, just some damage would have been nice. It's very bulky Pokemon. Now I'm really, really scared of an electric type move because it's going to destroy me. So I'm going to go into my Solrock. Now this Solrock was a trapping set. I'll go more on that Golbat set a little bit later on too. So we got the Spark coming from the Electros there. Now on this set we got Cosmic Power, we got Pain Split, Toxic, and Fire Spin. So it's a little bit different to my Rest Sleep Talker set, but it still does have some form of recovery outside of Rest. We've got Pain Split. So we got the ability obviously is Levitate, and the item is Leftovers. Max Special Defense, Max Defense. So making use of the Pain Split there, having no EVs, and it's very bulky both sides. Throwing a Cosmic Power and Toxic and Fire Spin to trap the opponent in, it's very, very hard to take out. Obviously you need a crit, or you need just like a status move like Toxic to actually take it up. So the Electros is trapped in here. Whether I'll be able to, whether it has like a healing move, I wasn't really sure. So it's hitting me really hard with the knockoff there. It's going to get rid of my Leftovers. Now I can go for an easy Pain Split here, and it's still doing damage with the Toxic and the Fire Spin. I actually had another Solrock called 69 Degrees. It was like Rest, Sleep Talk, Toxic, and Fire Spin. It was Max Health and Max Defense. It was very, very similar, and I think I gave it like a Rocky Helmet. Anyway, so we've got a Spark coming from the Solrock there, and it's going to paralyze me. Spark does have a chance of paralyzing, and the Toxic damage is racking up nicely on the Electros here. Electros is such a great Pokemon, so versatile. You should, when going up against Electros, you should never ever underestimate. So now it's going to go for my worst nightmare, Rest. So all that damage from Toxic is going to get reset, and it's not going to be poisoned anymore. So Electros healing itself all the way up. It's got Chesto Berry as the item. Of course, the only good thing about that, it definitely won't have Sleep Talk. Most of the time, the Pokemon that has a Chesto Berry won't have Sleep Talk. So giving myself some, some health back here. It's still trapped in by the Fire Spin, which is good. Now I can opt to go for another Toxic, or I can swap out to try and take it out. I could go for another Toxic, and it misses, unfortunately. So the Fire Spin is doing more damage to the Electros there. Now, it's just going to keep going for the Spark here against me, hoping to obviously get paralyze me, and then, take me out with the Paralyze and the Spark combination there. Like, it's such a good Pokemon. Run special sets, bulky sets. Man, it's really, really good. Definitely recommend using it if you haven't before. So it's on its last legs here. Now, I can either go for a rest. However, it's going to be sleep for 2 turns. I was kind of banking on that. If it was going to go to sleep, I could actually set up on it, but it's not. And I'm going to go for the Fire Spin and take the Electros out with the Toxic damage. Now, my Golbat had a nice setup move with Nasty Plot. So if it did go to sleep, I was kind of prepared to set up on it, but it's not going to go to sleep, and it's going to go down. Okay, so we've got 3 Pokemon down there, and now we've got the Scrafty coming out. So there's not really too much I can do against it. Now, it's got the Intimidate. So it's like, okay, it doesn't have Shed Skin. It might be able to get a Toxic off against this. However, it's going to go for the knockoff, and that's going to be more than enough to take out my Solrock, unfortunately. So at this point, I was like, well, I've got to hit this with a pretty strong move. So I'm going to go into my Druddigon. Now, Druddigon is a really cool Pokemon. I like running the special Druddigon set. So on this one, we got as follows. We got Draco Meteor, Flash Cannon, Focus Miss, and we got Shockwave. So on this one, I'm going to go for the Focus Miss there. It lands on the first turn. I know, surprise, surprise. And it does a truckload of damage there, almost taking it out. Now, it's a fairly bulky Pokemon anyway, so I did think I had a chance of living. Plus, Special Druddigon isn't the most powerful thing in the world. So knocking off my choice specs, which actually all wasn't too bad, because I don't really like being trapped into Focus Miss. And the second one connects, and that is going to take it out. So that's really good. Now, I can go for the, I could try and go for the, maybe a special defense drop on the Meteor if it does come in, but it doesn't. The Victreebel comes in. So now Victreebel is going to go for a stockpile. Another really tanky Pokemon here. Now, it has a decent special defense stat, so I knew my moves wouldn't probably do a lot of damage. Usually over Shockwave, I like to run Heat Wave, but this time I was running a little bit of a different one. In case I actually came across some double team Pokemon, and it actually worked really, really nicely. So anyway, we got a special attack drop. Now, at this point in the game, I lost my choice specs. It's now going to start to attack me. I don't really want to swap out any of my Pokemon, so I thought, let's just sack the Druddigon here. It's on a lower amount of health. It's not the fastest Pokemon in the world. I might be able to get some damage on it, and maybe if it's got a berry, I might be able to activate that too. So, my special attack is going to drop again, and it's got the berry. So, okay, that's not too bad. It's got Gluttony, so that's going to eat its berry and get all the way back to full health. I guess with Gluttony and the more powerful berries like Wiki Berry, Mega Berry, Iapa Berry, it's really, really good on those types of Pokemon. So it's going to hit me with a Leaf Tornado, not taking me out. Now going for the Flash Cannon, hoping for a special defense drop to get rid of that stockpile boost. That is not going to be a case, and Victreebel is going to be able to take me out with the Venoshock once more. So I've got my Golbat. I could set up Nasty Plots up against it, or I've got another Pokemon that could work against it as well. So now I'm going to go into my Dino. Now, this Pokemon packed a lot of power, but it was really, really risky this set. So now we got the Victreebel go for the Leaf Tornado. Obviously, it doesn't have a lot to hit me with. It could hit me with a Venoshock, but I was kind of confident that I'd live that one. So now I go for the Dragon Rush with the Choice Band, with the Hustle. Oh, look at the damage to that. I'm very, very surprised that, even hit. Max health, max attack. We got Dragon Rush, Crunch, Head Smash, and Thunder Fang. So I'm going to get hit by a Leaf Tornado, dropping my accuracy, which is bad. But the second, I can't believe it, the second Dragon Rush actually hits, taking out the Victreebel. I don't think I had anything to take that out if I kept going for stockpile. I think maybe I could have got around at my Golbat because it looked like it didn't have much to hit me with outside of Leaf Tornado and Venoshock. Okay, so now we got Meteor coming in. There's nothing I can do here. It's going to go for an Aurora Beam onto my Dino. Man, that looks really, really cool there. And it's going to take it out with a super effective attack. So down goes the Dino there, and it's going to get a Soul Heart. So that's going to boost its special attack, which is a kind of bad. So on my Golbat set, I had as follows. We got Nasty Plot, Sludge Bomb, Air Slash, and Heat Wave. A fairly straightforward sweeping special set. We got Infiltrator and Everlight as the item. And we got max speed and max special attack. Going for the timid nature here and boosting my special attack with Nasty Plot. Okay, so I'm going to get hit. I think, what was that? That was like a... I forgot what that... I looked away for a second. That magnet move. Anyway, so we got the Heat Wave on the Meteor here. And this thing is very, very, very bulky. And now it's going to go for the Side Beam taking me out there, and that is super effective. That's like disrespect side beam. Hope you guys enjoyed this first battle there. A very savage Majana set. And let's get on to the second battle. This one was against my girl Skylar on my Discord, guys. If you want to join the Discord, anyone can join. That link is in the description of the video. So we got an Electrode lead here, and we've got my Barboach lead. So it's like, okay, this actually isn't a bad matchup. It, it can't use any electric type moves to me, and it might go for taunt, so I was like, I might as well just attack this thing. However, we got the Hyper Beam coming from the Electrode there. It's going to do some big damage to me, taking me all the way down to my Focus Sash. Now, this thing, obviously the whole point of this set was to have bad IVs in defense, health, and special defense, and it's really, really bad in all of them. I do a lot of damage with the Earthquake, almost taking it out. It was so, so close, and now the Electrode's going to actually switch out with the eject button. So if you guys haven't seen the strategy I use with the eject button and Hyper Beam before, basically you fire off a laser, right, and then you get hit by a move, and then it ejects you out of the battle, so you're not basically, dead in the water for one turn while you get set up on. So going for the flail there, and it takes it all the way down to its Focus Sash. Hustle Ice Shard actually misses on the Delibird. Now they're going to go for another Ice Shard. It doesn't miss. Very, very lucky for them there. Obviously, I would have taken them out. And I guess that's the risk with Hustle. It's it's a good move, but at the same time, it's very frustrating if it keeps missing. So I've definitely been there myself. So now we're going to go to Lunatone. Lunatone walls it pretty nicely. Now, I did have a little feeling it might have Destiny Bond, so I actually went for the Rock Polish this turn to boost my speed. So I can go for a Rock Polish this turn, and then I can just go for another one, because obviously I'll be able to outspeed it. And if it does go for Ice Shard, that'll, obviously that's going to cancel out. But I didn't really want to take that risk, and said they were if they were thinking that. So go for another Rock Polish. I'm at +4 speed now. So I'm a fast moon, people. I'm a fast moon. I'm rotating around the Earth really fast. So now we've got the Delibird going for the Ice Shard, doing a lot of damage to me. That's a solid 4-hit KO. And now I'm going to take that out with the Rock Slide. So I've still got Zen Headbutt, and I've got Explosion if I do need it as well. However, my weakness policy isn't activated, so it's probably not going to do as much damage as I would hope. So we got the big Allotment Executor coming here. Obvious grass move could be coming my way, so I went for the Rock Slide in hopes that I could get a flinch and then go for the Explosion. It does absolutely nothing. So now we've got Allotment Executor going for the Giga Drain, taking me out. Man, this thing is definitely max health and max defense. Explosion would not have done anything to it at all. I guess the only good thing about Explosion there would be it wouldn't have been able to get any health back with Giga Drain, but I'm thinking it's definitely got Harvest as an item too. So bringing in the Drudgegon, I can go for the Draco Meteor here. However, it's going to go for Protect, and now the Allotment Executor is going to see that I've got Draco Meteor, and I'm guessing it's not going to stay into that one. It's more bulky in defense than it is in special defense too. So now we got the Allotment Executor swapping out, and we got the Festival Plaza coming in, which is the Palisand. So Palisand is a bulky Pokemon all around, and I knew that it would be able to live this one, and there is a chance it does have Shore Up as well, which will be able to heal itself off right, and if I drop my special attack by 2 stages, it's really not going to be like a good matchup for me at all. So it only does half, but it does have leftovers. Bring it over half too. So this is a really, really bad matchup for me. I need to leave that Drudgegon for maybe later on in the game. Maybe I can deal with the Allotment Executor then. So going to Dino, a really risky play here. It's going to go for the Shore Up. So that's going to heal itself off nicely. Now I can either opt to go for the risky Dragon Rush, expecting the Allotment Executor in, or I can go for the Crunch, right? I decided to go for the Crunch. We got the Festival Plaza swapping out there. Man, that's the fastest you ever see the Festival Plaza go. And we got the Allotment Executor coming in there. So go for the Crunch. It connects, which is really nice there. Look at the damage that does. That's very, very impressive damage. So now I thought, well, this could be really bad. I don't want to lose Dino at the moment. It's actually quite important, believe it or not, and going into my Sorrow. So we've got the Leech Seed coming from the Allotment Executor, a very, very bulky Pokemon. With Leech Seed, right, this could have easily stole my Dino out in case it missed with Hustle, which was a very, very good chance too. So I was thinking, what I got to do, right, is I've got to get a Toxic off against this Palisand or the Allotment Executor. It's sort of like their core of their team. So now we're going to go for the Toxic on the Allotment Executor. If it doesn't have a Lumberry, I'm safe. If it does, it's going to be very, very problematic. So it doesn't have a Lumberry. Now it's going to go for the Giga Drain, which is super effective, doing a lot of damage to me. Even if when you run an Allotment Executor or Executor bulky, right, it still has such a great, special attack. It's such a great, it's just really, really good Pokemon in general. Okay, so it's going to get some Leech Seed back there, and it's at full health again. But the Toxic is on. That is the main point. I was kind of happy to sacrifice my Toxic Soul Rock just to get that status on it. Anyway, going for the Pain Speed here, I thought that'd be worth it. Outspeed, which is nice. So doing some good damage to the Allotment Executor with the Toxic. And now it's going to go for yet another Giga Drain. So I'm actually going to go down to that one. I thought I might live that badly, but that was not the case. So Long Executor getting some more health back from the Giga Drain. However, we got the Toxic racking up nicely. So I thought, well, I could bring in my Dino here and maybe go for the... I was like, if I go for Dragon Rush here, I've actually got a chance to take this out. If the Palossand comes in, you know, it's going to hit very hard. So now we got the Long Executor going for the Leech Seed on me. I was like, please hit with the Dragon Rush. And it hits again. I was like, with this Dino, I was getting very lucky with this. So that's going to go down in one shot. That was a stab Dragon Rush. And that was a critical hit too. I'm quite confident it would have taken it out anyway because it was super effective and it was stabbed too. Alright, so we got the Electro coming in here. It's going to go for, I think it might go for Hyper Beam again against me. So I thought, let's go into Golbat. I'm pretty sure I can tank that one with the Everlight. It may go for Electric type moves, so it was a little bit risky. However, it's going to go for the Hyper Beam again against my Golbat. So it does pretty good damage. I am Everlighted though, which definitely saved me. It would have done a lot more to me then. Okay, so we got the Electrode on recharge. In case it does have a special move, special Electric type move, which they all do, I'm going to take it out with the Sludge Bomb. Okay, so that's down. Now we got the Rotom coming in, so there wasn't much I could actually do to this. I was like, okay, I don't really want to set up a Nasty Plot in case it's got an Electric type move or Thunder Wave, so let's go for Heat Wave. They're going to go for the Swagger. I'm like, okay, this is annoying, so that's going to give me some confusion. I don't have any physical moves, so it's not going to help me out at all. I have to stay in there. I can't really swap out because Dino is very, very important. Okay, so getting confused here, and I actually break through the confusion and hit another Heat Wave, which was very, very important there. So we got, it has a 3-hit KO. Now the Rotom's actually going to psych up my change in attack. So it's a physical Rotom, hoping I actually hit myself in confusion. I'm going to snap out and I'm going to go for the Lunch Bomb, and that's going to take out. Man, I was very, very lucky. That was very, very unfortunate there for them to, for me to break through 2 confusion and then snap out on the third one. Okay, so we got the Pikachu coming in here. I was thinking, well, it's kind of over for me. I might as well just go for a Sludge Bomb there, get as much damage off as possible, and take it out. Sludge Bomb does heaps, and I get a poison as well. And we got the Pikachu going for the Substitute. So obviously they expected me to swap there. I was actually very close to going to Druddigon there, so not a bad play, just on I guess a tiny bit of an over prediction there, but I was very, very close going to Druddigon there, and they would have had a Substitute up. That could have been very, very scary. Okay, so we got the Festival Plaza as the last Pokemon. I can't touch this thing at all, so I'm going to go for the Air Slash. I was like, let's see how much this does. It does donkeys. So we got the Palossand going for the Infestation there. If they have got Toxic, it's not going to do anything to me because I'm a Poison type, right? So I guess the fixed damage with Infestation, they do have Shore Up, so I was thinking, the best I can really do here is go for a Nasty Plot to try and take this thing out. I'm going to need like a few of them though to get some nasty damage against them. So go for the Nasty Plot, boosting my special defense by special attack by 2 stages. Okay, so now we got the Sandstorm getting set up by the Palossand. So of course this thing's going to love the Sandstorm, and Shore Up is actually going to heal the Palossand for way more damage too. So I was thinking, I could go for another Nasty Plot here, but I should just get an attack off against this thing. Like Shore Up is going to do a lot of healing damage to it. I decided to go for the, because I'm taking Sandstorm damage and I'm taking Infestation too, and I may even go for an attacking move itself. So going for the Air Slash, hoping for a scummy flinch. It does still underwhelming damage to me, and it's going to go for a Shore Up there, healing itself up surely enough to fall. Okay, so I mean, I could have gone for the Nasty Pop before. I had no idea what they would do. So I went for the, this time I went for the Air Slash in hopes that I get like a crit or something like that. So go for the Air Slash. It's not going to miss, which is nice, and it does okay damage to the Festival Plaza. Now, if you do remember, I've got that Dino left, right, which has got Crunch. So it's like a Choice Band Hustle Crunch is going to do some big damage to this Festival Plaza. And I noticed throughout the battle, right? I did notice throughout the battle, this thing is bulky and special defense, right? So I was thinking, it's got most of its EVs invested into special defense. If I hit it with a stab Crunch with Choice Band, I think it's going to sink the Sandcastle in one shot. So going for the Crunch, it hits, thank goodness, and it just absolutely buries it, pardon the pun. And that is a Palossand down. Hope you guys enjoyed both these battles. Check out those bloopers, and make sure you are following on Twitch, people, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.